What's up, everybody? It's pretty much just an open panel. We can talk about anything. This game, all the shit that's going on, all these reports, whatever. I put out a video today about Mark Madden. Kenny denied that shit. So I don't know. T-Bob. Whoever has the mouth Roger Goodell is smashing wins. That's smash mouth football. Indeed, T-Bob. I guess that's true. Roger Goodell. I mean, him and Robert Kraft, they were both like going to Oriental spas together or something. There was some kind of Robert Kraft. I don't even know, dude. There was some they were getting slicked up. That's all I know. So who knows what's going on behind closed doors? T-Bob. In the NFL, honestly. Saints used to pay players to hurt each other. Shit, last year I was calling for the Steelers to take Lamar Jackson out. And if this year I'm calling for the Steelers to take Lamar Jackson out, win, lose, or draw, if they want to come into this ball game, hey, this is going to be a bone crunching type of game. I mean, the Saints are out there, paying players, so why not? Let's just do it. Let's go out there. People are going to say, oh, you shouldn't do that. Said it last year. That's the reality of the game, bro. That's going to be the reality of this game, AFC North football. The Browns, the Steelers, the Bengals. You know how physical those games are to where players straight up are intentionally trying to hurt each other, bro. It means so much division games, bro. And this game really means nothing for Baltimore. So why are they going to go out there and risk Lamar's Jackson for the playoffs? Who's been injury prone, who missed the playoffs last year, who they're paying big money, who's playing like an MVP this year. They're probably not going to start their starters, bro. With or without Lamar, they don't scare me neither. I mean, they do scare me. That's a lie. I'm not going to say they don't scare me because I think they're playing hot right now. I think even with Lamar, without Lamar, they scare me. So I differ on that opinion, Ernie. I say with or without Lamar, they still scare me. And Mason had 2 great games. I've been saying against the fucking 2 trash defenses. The offensive definitely looks way better with Tim in there, but, bro, those are 2 trash defenses. And I feel Baltimore's defense, even if they're resting some few guys, is still as good as them other defenses, honestly. I know the Ravens are the best team. Bob. Either way, the Ravens aren't making it to the Super Bowl. People are overhyping them. Who do you think's the best team in the AFC, Ernie? Who's the best team in the AFC right now? If it ain't Baltimore, who's the best team in the AFC? Because Miami. That's who we'd have to pull. That's like if we get in the playoffs right now, I think that's who we'd have to end up playing, Miami. And who knows who's going to win? I think that's for the division with Miami and Buffalo. We need Miami to beat Buffalo, and then we'll probably have to play Miami. I believe that's how it would go. So we need some help, but it is what it is. I was watching some of your live earlier, just calling out Ben. I've seen some of it. I watched some of it. I want to get real shit up here because Kenny's his boy. My last few live streams have been doing all right. My videos have been doing really good. And I seen you put Kenny Pickett's a scrub. He needs to get the fuck out of Pittsburgh. So I read into that report. That was Mark Madden is the one that came out with that shit. And I seen Mac did his video too, and Mac Main, and he was saying Kenny Pickett's a liar. Dude, I'm telling you, Mark Madden's the liar, bro. Mark Madden is the liar in this situation. 1,000, 1,000,000, 110%. That fat slob faked that report to get fucking ratings, to give him something to talk about, to give all their stations something to talk about, bro. I'm telling you, the Trib is a dirty ass. Fuck the Trib, bro. They're not inside Steelers organization. They're not. They are, but they're not. Like BBE is the inside. That's the radio station. They're all owned by the same people, I think. And Madden does make appearances on DVE, but DVE is the flagship station in Pittsburgh. 1059X, where Mark's at, and he writes for the Trib. 1059 is the flagship of the Pens. So Mark is not an insider to even. He don't know nobody on the inside of the organization is coming to Mark Madden and telling him shit. The Steelers pretty much release all their news in-house through DVE and like through the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Bob Pompiani. Like they do their shit in-house. So like really, I don't believe a damn thing. He slandered and lied about TJ Watt last year, a couple years ago too. Mark Madden's a joke. He's a clown. So I really believe Kenny on this one. I really do. I could see that, honestly. Miami's good. Got a good offense. The Cowboys are nice. Mark Madden ain't the only one that said that. I looked into it. That is where the tweet originated from. That is where it originated from. From what I read into the thing. That's what I read into the thing is that Mark Madden put that tweet out, and that's how it all fucking started. And he read his Twitter today. He's like, "No, I didn't lie. Kenny Pickett lied." And then he like doubled down. He's like, "Oh, I came out and said Russ Grimm was going to be." He's a Russ Grimmist. I've been saying this shit for these Tomlin haters, bro. These Russ Grimmists, bro. He was the original Russ Grimmist, bro. That pushed that narrative in Pittsburgh that Russ Grimm should have been the guy, and everybody hated Tomlin. And like, bro, they said the only reason he got hired was the Rooney Rule. We should have. He put that report out there that Russ Grimm was going to be the next head coach, and Mike Tomlin was the head coach. And he's been pushing this Tomlin hate shit ever since day one. From A1 day one, Mark Madden has bashed that dude since A1 day one, bro. He's been building this narrative, and that just solidifies his narrative. And now he's like, this isn't about Kenny not wanting to be a backup. It's about the quarterback controversy in Pittsburgh, and this has been mishandled by Tomlin. Yeah, it has been mishandled by Tomlin, but now he is making the right decision to right the ship, and he has this team in a position to get to 10-7 this year, and a position to get in the playoffs. And we were already ahead of schedule where Vegas had us to be ahead of schedule. They had us at the bottom barrel of this division right now. They had Cincinnati at the top of the division right now. He was out there, one of the ones saying Zach Taylor, who has a career losing record, that you have no analysts, no stats or anything to back up the fact that Zach Taylor is anyway near close to even the pedigree of a coach as Mike Tomlin, just because he won the division one year, because they had a soft ass schedule. They went 0-16 one year or whatever it was, and then they had another trash ass season the next, and they got gifted Joe Burrow and fucking Jamar Chase. And without your franchise quarterback, look where they're at. And they have one of the toughest schedules in the league. Look what they're at. They're on the bottom of the division, eliminated. And we did it for them in our house. So you got to love it, man. You got to love it. He was mad. I mean, of course he was upset. But did he? I would be upset too. But did that mean he was not going to be the backup and refusing to be the backup? They said he's the number 2 this week. And even at the beginning of that game, bro, they said that he's been declared the emergency number 3 quarterback, and Mitchell's going to be the back. Like, they said it straight at the game. And Mark Colombi reported and said that's not true. It's like there's so many drama scenes in with the Pittsburgh media. It's crazy, bro. Every year. And a lot of this shit is not even true. It's straight slander, bro. It really is. It's straight slander, bro. Like the Pickens shit. Like they be hating on Pickens. Pickens likes a comment. Or Pickens react. He might not even like that. He might have accidentally just scrolled through his shit and accidentally hit like. Didn't even know it. And then they turned that into a big media story that he's unhappy. He doesn't want to be with the team, blah, blah, blah. I mean, did he voice his opinion that he don't really like making 3-yard digs? I mean, all game long when he thinks he has the ability to be a deep ball receiver. I mean, I don't think that's really that big of a deal. We need some kind of fire. We needed some kind of fire on this offense, and obviously we got it with Kenny Pickett. I think he took some lessons from Big Ben when he joined his podcast on how to get the front office to bend the knee to him. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. The front office bend the knee to bend whatever he wanted. And I like what you were saying because Mason has been calling him out, bro. Like, I like what you say. I heard what you're saying. Like, because I didn't really touch on that shit. And that's a big story, too, that I probably should have touched on, bro. It's Ben, and they're going back and forth in the media. Like, he's like, oh, Mason should start. Mike Tomlin should start Mason. And he was calling out the whole organization for when they drafted Mason and drafting Josh Dobbs. Like, well, I think I have a few more good years left. Why don't you just? But then you're teeter-totting and playing with the media. I'm going to retire this year. I'm going to retire that year. Oh, if you bring in Todd Haley, I want to get traded. So Ben was a diva, bro. And a lot of our problems right now aren't so much on Mike Tomlin, and they are managerial. Like does Tomlin have that decision to draft Kenny Pickett, or was that Kevin Colbert's decision to draft Kenny Pickett? Was that Mike Tomlin's decision? I really don't think Mike Tomlin has any weight in terms of signing and inking a $50 million deal, $40 million deal per year with Ben Roethlisberger, 103-year, $120 million. $150 million, whatever ridiculous amount of money we gave that overpaid goddamn rapist who just did nothing but drink and watch porn in the off season, and even admitted so. And he had the best numbers of his career when we had Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell with him, and then we just pretty much threw them dudes out to dry, bro. We said when we gave that scrub money, and then he had Tommy Bond surgery, and it was never the same, bro. And they were even trying to force his ass to retire, and we were held hostage. They said, you either take a salary cut or we're going to cut you. And he did take a salary cut, but he had no choice. So I like what you're saying about that. Is Big Fat Ben still playing at age 98? He's age 38. He was great, and he was fat, and he was out of shape. That's the thing, bro. You're making $150 million, bro, and you're coming into this shit out of shape, bro. And that's another thing. This is on Tomlin because he gives special privileges sometimes to players like Ben, and they don't have to practice and shit. Ben came in and out of shape, bro. If he would have put in some work in the offseason and kept like up with his health and not drink alcohol, he could have played till he was 45 like Tom Brady because he was a beast, gifted, a natural athlete, and he just had this ego, bro. He had this ego, man. Huge ego, huge. Especially once he got the money and he won one Super Bowl. And that was early in his career when he won that Super Bowl. And then he felt he could dictate the franchise and do whatever he wanted to do. When in reality, like I've been saying all year, bro, that Smash Mouth football ain't dead. Smash Mouth football won this organization 6 Super Bowls. And those 2 Super Bowls that Ben won early in his career, especially that first one, bro, that was all about defense. It was all about running the ball. It was all about that offensive line, and that defense was insane. That defense with Casey Hampton, Kimo Van Olaf, Aaron Smith, James Ferrier, Larry Foote, Joey Porter, Clark Higgins, Ike Taylor on the outside, Troy Polamalu, bro. Chris Hope back there playing free safety, Pro Bowl free safety at the time, who wasn't on that team. Mike Tomlin took over, and that heart and soul Jerome Bettis wasn't on that team that Tomlin took over. Everybody says that's the only reason Tomlin won a Super Bowl, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that was a smash mouth defensive run first football game, and Cowher had the handcuffs on Ben, the handcuffs, and he wanted to change the offense, and we changed the whole offense around Ben to a spread it out, throw it 50 times a goddamn game offense to where we didn't win another Super Bowl since then. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit of spread it out, but we still had defense and we were still able to run the motherfucking ball when we won that thing. And then the defense started to lack because they were aging, they were getting older, and they just weren't the same anymore. And we were stuck on those contracts, and then they had to retire. And then we had to start bringing in new faces, and it took some time to build that defense back up. But that's why we brought Tomlin in here, is because he's a defensive mind, and he has built this defense as to be one of the best defenses in the league right now. The offense obviously needs to catch up, and the plan was Kenny was going to catch up and progress. Didn't happen, and he had to make the move. And now Mason's in there. And Madden wants to run with this narrative like Kenny didn't want to be the backup and this is all Tomlin's fault. Yeah, maybe he could have went with Kenny. Maybe he could have benched Kenny earlier. But is that on him or is that on the front office saying this is the guy we drafted? We want to see what we got with him. You got to keep moving forward. And honestly, that's probably is the right decision to do for the future of the franchise. You invested a first round pick for him. So that's why I'm saying we should just start him because we invested it, so we might as well see if it's worth something. But now it's basically we're saying he's done. It's over. The Kenny Pickett era is over and done with. There is no more Kenny Pickett for the Steelers. So, I mean, so Ben was a problem, honestly. And it's not all on Tomlin. It takes a team to win, bro. You can't put it on one person in one thing. Like Canada, you can't put it all on him. You're scheming dudes wide open, and Kenny's missing wide open receivers. That's not on coaching. That's execution. Period. He schemed them open. You gotta hit them in stride on the money, and then that should be big. That should be first downs. But instead it's 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs. Mason in there, we dominate with time of possession. The run game looks a lot better, so they had to do what they had to do. And now that we got a quarterback. We got this number one defense. We got this run game. We got George Pickens playing like crazy. We got Deontay back, healthy, fully loaded and leaded offense and an offensive line that's looking like they're starting to gel. And Broderick Jones, the rookie, in there now getting full reps, full swings as a starter. And he's out there leading the charge on that offensive line. And it looks like a completely different offensive line because we did get off to a slow start early running the ball. And maybe that's another thing. Okay. And a lot of Still Maiden was on it. I'll get Still Maiden. We got to get Broderick in there. I even said before the season, you might as well just start Broderick Jones. You moved up to get this guy, might as well start him. But I see the plan. Like you have tenured veterans that you're just not going to throw your rookie right in there. They really have to lose their job, and Shooks lost his job. And now he's in there, and he's been dominating. And the run game has been dominant pretty much ever since we started him. And JPJ has been dominant ever since we've been starting him. So it's a good future for the Steelers. I think a lot of us need to bend the knee to Mason Rudolph. I used to always have the number 2 avatar on my team, bro, all the time. I was used to rock the Mason avatar all the time. That's why. And I'm still like, fuck, don't even start him now. We missed with him. I mean, that is on a little bit. That is on coaching. I mean, you did want to draft him. You did bench him. He benched him for Hodges. So that's definitely on coaching. It's all the blame to go around. This game, I mean, if we can get down to the X's and O's, the X's and O's is the Ravens are a dominant team than us. They're better than us. They should beat our ass. They're at home. They're going to be favored. We don't have no chance. It's been over. Shit, a lot of fans are saying it was over for the first game of the season. A lot of fans were saying it was over after we lost that game to the Cardinals. It was over after we lost that game to the Patriots. It was over after we lost that game to the Colts. And then we beat the Bengals and eliminated their asses. And then we go into Seattle and whoop their fucking asses. Now it's time to keep this shit and have this shit come all together. And I've been saying it all year. Once we get a little bit of good quarterback play and this offense starts to come together a little bit, gives this defense a break, we can really start dominating fools out there. And now we're seeing it right now. Steelers dominating in smash mouth football, Pittsburgh Steelers fashion at the perfect time. And if we sneak in there, I think we can be a real dangerous team. But we got to sneak in there. But I think Madden's the liar, not Kenny Pickett. I think Pickett was probably upset, but I definitely believe that Mark Madden would fabricate a story for ratings. Yes, I believe he would do that 100,000,000%. He's done it before. He has no inside nothing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nothing. He's He brags about his ratings, but there's no show that really competes with him. He's on one of the highest rated music stations. It's a music station. DBE's a music station too. That's why they get a lot of ratings. But he's just in on drive time, and there's really no competition in Pittsburgh. So he gets that. Oh, you win that spot, that radio spot in Pittsburgh. He's been kicked off TV shows. He's been kicked off many other programs. He got fired from WWE. He got literally fired from WWE for slander. He was slandering people, bro. That's what he was doing, and he got fired. I think they were talking about suing his ass for slander. He's a slanderer, literally career slanderer. And I really believe Kenny knew. He took it like it was a sneak diss, bro. It was a shot that was in. He's like, I don't know why somebody would put out this mistruth and try to say that, try to further their own careers. That's really what Mark Madden's doing, bro. I forget exactly what it was about TJ Watt, but it was some bogus ass shit about TJ last year too. And PJ had to come out and debunk it. So I don't like Mark Madden. Me and him got into it on Twitter a few times. I seen that was the first one. And see, that's what happens. Once Mark Madden says it, then all the little blog sites and all the little smaller sites pick up on it, bro. Like all these, what do you think about Phoenix to Pittsburgh? I think that would be great. But what do we have to give up for Phoenix? Do we want to give up another draft pick for Phoenix? Because I was looking at his, he's 24. Kenny Pickett's what, 25? So Phoenix, you know what I mean? You got to think, if you're going with Phoenix, especially if you use a first-round pick with Phoenix, I think the plan is he's plug and play, bro. He's going to, is he in a national champ? I don't know. Isn't the national championship Washington and Michigan? So that's going to be interesting. Washington versus Michigan. Kenny deserves the Josh Rosen treatment. I mean, we get rid of him. I wouldn't mind trading him. Shit. If you get a third-round pick for him, fourth-round pick, just get rid of him. I think the two best options for the Steelers are, there's so many options. Like I heard Ernie talking, like we can go with Mason for a short term on maybe a 3-year deal. That's an option. But to me, I'd say if you're going to look at it that way, you got to look at all your options in free agency. Because what if a Kirk Cousins is out there and you can pay a little bit more for Kirk Cousins, a guy who's thrown for big yardage and can really, really, really light a spark to this offense and put up big numbers in this offense with this running game and all these wide receivers and this fucking elite defense. You know what I mean? Or a Phoenix could be there. Who knows? Sitting in a second. Maybe he drops like a Malik and he's sitting there in the second or the third. I don't think you can pass up on him. And then you can say, okay, well, we got Phoenix and we got Kenny. And then we're just going to have a competition. And then maybe bring Mason back too. And then have a competition, a 3-way competition again. But then one could say going in that direction, you're stunting all their growth. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a plan. And Tomlin was trying to act like this was like a plan, that he was going to start Mason. There was no plan of having Mason start any games this year. All right. He wasn't getting no reps, no nothing. Nothing. Just pretty much maybe some practice squad reps here and there against the defense. But other than that, he was nothing. Phoenix is a fell the physical side of the draft because of his injury history. I think he'll be there for us. That would be amazing. Justin Fields, another Kenny Pickett. He's trash. Just ask Judah Tribe. I don't know if he's another Justin Fields. Because what I'll say, the thing about Justin Fields is he came from Ohio State. And what I'll say about Ohio State quarterbacks is they never pan out. Like, what's his name? Houston. I can't even remember his name right now. Whatever his name is in Houston. He's like the only one that CJ Stroud. He's the only one that's really been like good quarterback that's ever been drafted over Ohio State. And in my opinion, why is Ohio State has so many good receivers all the time. They always have 5-star recruit receivers. They always have a high recruit receiving or running backs. They always have high recruit linemen. So it's like it's easy for a quarterback. And then they're kind of like dual threat quarterbacks. But when it comes to the NFL, they come a little bit too small and not fast enough for the NFL and maybe not big enough to see over the offensive line and just don't have that big enough arm. But when you have all that talent around you and you're not playing up against NFL talent, it makes you look a lot better. But Washington is a team that is not that good. Like if I think of a Pac-12 team, I'm thinking of USC. I'm thinking of Oregon. I'm thinking even the University of Southern or even Cal. I'm thinking of over them, or even Stanford over them. Like I don't really think of a Washington team as a scary team in the Pac-12. And Michael Fennick, and so they're not a team. They're probably not out recruiting a USC. They're not out recruiting an Oregon. They're not out recruiting some of these big top tier teams in the Pac-12. And him alone is pretty much leading that squad and has led this squad to a national championship game. So, and I was looking at some of his highlights. That dude's got a cannon. And that's kind of what the Steelers offense need. And that is what Mason Rudolph is bringing to this team too. So like to Ernie's point, why don't you could go with the 3-year deal, cheap with Mason. But this is only a 2-game tape we got on Mason. We're going to see what he does against the Baltimore defense because, like I've been saying, even if Baltimore's resting some of their starters, that Baltimore defense is a different fucking animal, bro. Give me about 50 Trushians to train for 1 year, and I'll be the NFL team. Could you imagine a world where we get Phoenix and Cooper DeJean in an elite center? See, I think we need a center. I don't know who Cooper DeJean is. I think we need an inside linebacker. And I really got to start see this. Like, haven't followed. I usually always follow college football. This year, I didn't follow much college this year. But Phoenix, I think he leads the NCAA in passing yards, bro. He's 6'3", so he's got the frame. But it's a risk. And even signing Mason to a 3-year deal it's not a big risk, but it's still he's not proven. So to me, if Kirk Cousins is out there with this elite defense, like we have a chance, and we would have had a chance this year to really be a contender if we just had a good quarterback. So a Kirk Cousins, even though he hasn't won shit, he's had some good teams. He has the best proven track record out of any of these motherfuckers we're talking about right now. And I think would put the Pittsburgh Steelers in the best position to win if Kirk Cousins is out there. Or even a Russell Wilson, maybe, honestly. He could be. There's a million ways you can go. And that's what it's going to be all offseason, bro, is people speculating on what the fuck we're going to do with the quarterback position, what the fuck we're going to do with the offensive coordinator position, who we should draft, where we should draft them. And there's we need a lot of things. That's why it's hard to stay on one subject, especially with Steelers media, bro. Like all these different drama stories coming out. You can't even talk about football because it's nothing but drama stories they're selling all the time. It's crazy with Pickens and Pickett and fucking Jalen Warren making one little comment that they blow up into a huge oblivion. What did he say? Well, we got too high. The highs were too high and the lows were too low. And that turned into a big thing. Tomlin's lost the locker room. Oh my God. Jalen Warren said we let the highs get too high and the lows get too low. It's all reactionary bullshit, especially from the Trib. They're conservative. So that's their game. That is their game, is reactionary bullshit, bro. It's fake ass news, bro. Fake ass news. Crazy ass opinions to get you all fired up and shit. Create a controversy that's not even there, that doesn't even exist. Like Jalen Warren versus Najee Harris. Like, I don't think that ever was a controversy that the media made into a bigger thing than what it was. Jalen Warren's good, and he definitely deserved his reps. But I don't agree with y'all that Najee's a bust. I think Najee's good. I think they've been keying in on him all year. And I think we have two great backs to complement each other very well. And Naj probably should be better, but he's been balling this last few games. He's close to 1,000 this year again, so that'll be 3 straight years with 1,000-yard seasons. And our running game has been trash before Naj came around, and it's totally different with Naj. So, and Jalen's a big help, no doubt about it. Steelers freak. Pickett was cleared to play Thursday before, yet he didn't dress out. The 49ers need all third quarterbacks in a must-win game last year. Something's up with Pickett. If Mason got hurt, then it was Mitch. Pickett not dressing after being cleared is an issue. Well, the thing is, they said he was an emergency quarterback. So I think they see this is how the reactionaries, I feel, spun the story. He didn't dress. So they just, oh, he didn't dress. He was refusing to play, but he was the emergency third string quarterback. He easily could have went back in the locker room and dressed if he needed to dress. Like if Mason got hurt and then Mitch went in there, he probably would have instantaneously went to the locker room and got dressed. They even said before the game that he was the emergency third string quarterback, is what they said and declared. Did he go out there before the game? I mean, did Tomlin come out there and clarify it? Has anybody on the organization clarified this report? No. And we're supposed to take Mark Madden's word for it. Mark Madden, the self-proclaimed heel of Pittsburgh. You have your opinion. I don't know if he has. I think he might have an option. So there's another question. I seen somebody cast it on Twitter the other day. Should the Steelers pick up Najee's option? It's like a $7 million option. Is Najee worth $7 million? Or can we bring Jaylen Warren back on that minimum deal and draft a guy in the third, a big bruising back in the third round, fourth round, and clear up $7 million? We're gonna have some money in cap, bro. We can go out there and get some dudes this off season, and we got some draft picks. I'm getting close to being monetized, Ernie. I'm gonna keep pushing content. I let my mind lose focus on all the bullshit and drama sometimes, and I get consumed with it. I haven't been letting myself get consumed with the bullshit and the drama. The smart play would have had Pickett ready. I mean, yeah, you want to have Pickett ready, obviously, but how often do two quarterbacks get hurt in a game? Not often. Sometimes they don't even dress three quarterbacks, depending. They'll only go in there with two dressed, honestly. And like Mason has been on the practice squad, so they had to probably cut somebody and throw somebody back on the practice squad to carry three quarterbacks on the roster, even carry three quarterbacks on the roster. They didn't want to cut him and put him on a practice squad, but there was no plan of him playing. And they were trying to play it off as an injury in case Mason went out there and shit the bed. Then they can go back to Tomlin would have went back to Pickett if Mason, and then he would have said, "Well, Kenny's 100% now. We're going back with Kenny." That's how I see it, honestly. That's how I see it. But that game, Tomlin went with the hot hand, used the injury to get away from benching him. Mason balled. Now he had no choice but to say, Mason is the guy. And even Mason came out, and Kenny and all of them, they all say we have a good working relationship. We're all buddy-buddy. So I'm just going to go from what the horse's mouth says, not the fat jackass Mark Madden. That's just me. I hate Mark Madden. So, but that's his shtick. That's what he wants you to hate him. So he's done his job. I'll still continue to criticize his shit. I know he knows me. I know I get under his skin because he's responded to a plethora of my tweets, and we've had quite a few back and forths. Shit ain't sweet, bro. Mason will want a no shit quarterback competition this year, plus about 12 million. That's what I was saying. He's probably gonna want at least 13 million. If Mason, he wants at least $13 million. If I'm because Mitch is making like 12 next year, I believe, or some shit like that. So if I'm Mason, I'm like, I want 13. You're giving that scrub 12. I want 13. Bare minimum, I want 13. That's what I'm saying. And there is probably another teams out there. If I'm Mason, if I'm the Steelers, I'm keeping all my options open. If I'm Mason, I'm keeping all my options open. On both parties, it would be beneficial for both parties. Because there's 1,000 different ways to go. I'm already seeing, like, I posted a short of it because I already knew it was going to be coming. So I tried to get ahead of the trend on it. And I'm seeing it in Facebook groups. Michael Fenix. In the chat, people were asking, Michael Fenix. Mason at bare minimum deserves an article. That's what I'm saying. If I'm Mason agent, that's what I'm saying. For sure. $100. And I even did a video this year talking about is it Jalen Warren holdout looming in Pittsburgh? Because dude's running buck wild, bro. He's running buck fucking wild. And I would say they voted TJ Watt and team MVP, which I think he deserves. But man, Jalen Warren, dude, offensively, I would give the offensive MVP to Jalen Warren. I mean, Pickens is good. Him or Pickens, it's a tough one. But man, Jalen Warren on the limited reps he gets and just his story and the way he was undrafted and he just clawed and worked and struggled and strived and got him in the position where he's in right now, balling on limited reps, putting up numbers, averaging his yards per carry average is ridiculous. And just runs like you don't know how many spin moves. I've seen him do so many spin move Heisman, just crazy ass shit, bro. Like, juke a dude, spin a dude, and then just Heisman a motherfucker, and then break a tackle, and then just like it's crazy. He's 5'8", like 215, and he's running like he's 6'4", 250, like Mike Allstott, bro. It's crazy with his speed and agility. It's like Jalen Warren's a beast, bro. A beast. So if I'm Jalen Warren and I'm like 25 and you're a running back, you got to strike where the iron's hot. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm putting up just as much as production as Najee, and he's making $7 million next year. Something's got to change with this $300,000 contract. There was 2 games where I almost didn't get paid because of bullshit fines from Roger Goodell. I need something so I can get food on my family and I'm taken care of. I'm out here taking punishment week in and week out for this team and running with veracity. I need to be compensated to a higher degree. And he just earned it, honestly, I think. I don't know if I don't even know if his contract's up. I got to see this. I haven't looked so much into the salary cap. I'm going to look at the salary cap and I'll definitely it's easier to do videos because I don't have the best tools for streaming right now. Once I get better tools, once I get monetized, I'm gonna get a laptop. I'm gonna get better tools, so the streams will be better too. So I can pull up stats and videos and tweets. Oh, it'll be way better, the content. And once I get a few better tools, but for now, it is what it is. I can just talk. But like, I'll get all into that in the off season. Like, bring up it have to be on video, but I'll bring up like the salary cap, who's all on contract, and talk about different scenarios I think they can do to possibly free up cap space and who they should bring back. Because Muth might still be on contract. He might have one more year left on his rookie deal. I'm not sure. I know Naj got another year left. I know Warren got another year left. I know Pickens still locked down. DJ, TJ, Minka. I'm not sure about Muth, though, right now at the top of my dome. I don't think there's really a choice. I mean, we don't have to get rid of Najee. But if it's an option, you have that option to pick it up or say, hey, we're going to take that $7 million and we're going to put it elsewhere. We got Jaylen Warren. So why are we going to give you $7 million when we're paying Jaylen Warren $300,000 and he's putting up better production than you per carry? Per carry, 100, he's putting up better production. Najee's probably breaking more tackles, 1,000%. But Warren is per carry, he's more explosive. 1,000% in the passing game and the running game. He has more breakaway speed. It is more consistent on his carries. It's an option. Or they can go with the option to give him the $7 million and keep splitting carries between the two of them and have a great two-headed monster in the backfield. It's an option too. Or they can decide to draft a running quarterback and then implement the triple option. That's another option. They can draft a running quarterback and then implement the triple option and then really bring smash mouth football to Pittsburgh. I'd love to see that shit. Michael Penix running this triple option, bro. Damn, that'd be nice. Bo Nix probably could run a triple option. Definitely Bo Nix could run a triple option. But I don't like Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not no franchise quarterback. He's on an option. So if we don't pick up the option, then maybe we can, like you said, maybe we can bring him back on a team-friendly deal. We're saying we're not going to pick up that $7 million option. You're going to have to come back for less. I don't know. Will there be a team that pays him more than that? I don't know. The running back market's pretty skim, bro. Running backs don't make. Christian McCaffrey makes like 16. So he ain't going to get much more than $7 million anywhere else. Jonathan Taylor barely could get any money. And that dude's a fucking beast. They didn't even want to pay Saquon. Saquon got like 11, 12. Saquon's only getting paid like 11, 12 million, bro. Especially after the season he put up last year. That's bullshit. And then it gives Daniel Jones $32 million. So the NFL, the salaries and the shit's all fucked up in the NFL, bro. It's crazy. Just because that's what the quarterback market is. But in running backs, the best running backs in the league, like the Christian McCaffreys, who are like they do more than just like even Le'Veon Bell. Like Le'Veon Bell was trying to make that case that he's a dual threat quarterback. He's a dual threat. He's a receiver and a running back. You have to respect. Right? Le'Veon Bell had like 100 catches, close to 100 catches, like Marshall Faulk, like 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing type shit. And Christian McCaffrey is that type of runner. And he still only gets 16 million. But then some of these trash ass receivers like Deontay's nowhere near as productive as him, but it's probably making more or just as much as him because the wide receiver market is just that's the way the wide receiver market is. But Christian McCaffrey is a hell of a way more productive player. So the union, I don't even know how you would do what you do to fix that. Give running backs more guaranteed money, I guess. That's what Le'Veon Bell was saying. I don't even because the running backs do take a lot of punishment. And they only last in the league 5 years. Because teams will just come in and run them to the ground and then just once their rookie contract's up, or like Naj right now, like, we ran you to the ground. Now we're done with you. We ain't even gonna pick up your option. See you later. We're gonna go in a new direction. That happens to a lot of running backs. A lot of great 1-2 year wonder running back. Chris Johnson 1-2 year wonder. And then he got hurt, fell off the map. Billy Parker was a beast too. Got hurt and wasn't the same. So Phoenix is a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket guy. The best mobile guy is Jaden Daniels out of LSU. That dude that won the Heisman. Yeah, I was looking at Phoenix. He's leads the NCAA in passing yards. That boy's got a cannon, and that's really what the Steelers would need. I was just throwing that out there. That would be crazy to see a triple option. They don't bring that to the NFL though. But Phoenix, man, if he's there, if he's in the second, shit, I don't see how you pass on him if he's in the second or the third. I don't see how you pass on him. Even if, like, say, if a JJ McCarthy's there in like the third or the fourth, shit, take McCarthy. And if you want to go in that direction, 2 young quarterbacks competing for the job, I don't know. Warren is an example of finding a running back that can produce at a cheap price. Also, teams give running backs a low priority and rather take someone in the late draft rounds on the cheap. Exactly. I mean, that's what they do. But it's just sad to me. I mean, I get the business aspect of it, but it's sad to me that these great athletes kind of get the shaft and they take the most punishment and do the most work really on the team running backs. And it's just a lost art in football nowadays, man. It really is. And like I've been preaching that shit all year, dude, that running the ball and defense ain't dead, man. You gotta win. Well, I don't care how much they change the rules. You gotta win in the trenches. And we went out there last week, bro, and we just dominated Seattle in the motherfucking trench. And even last year against Baltimore, when we walked up into Baltimore, we ran for damn near 200 yards on them too. We were running the ball like we're running the ball like last year, and we were dominating the scene. Mitchell Trubisky just went in these last 3 games, and just literally gave the fucking game away. We were even winning games with trash-ass Kenny Pickett in there that wasn't doing shit. Only has 6 touchdowns. He only has 6 touchdowns. I heard Mac talking. 6 touchdowns is not enough for me, bro. And it ain't. That ain't enough. But we were still winning games just off running the ball and defense, bro. So now that we have Mason that's able to take the top off of defense and make defenses have to at least respect the pass, we're dominating people. It's giving Mason a little bit more time in the pocket. And the offensive line, you know what I mean? They're getting off on the ball. And teams aren't blitzing as much, and they're not run blitzing as much. Because they have to stay in coverage, because they have to respect the pass. So I'll go for like 10 more minutes, I guess. If you guys ain't got any more comments or whatever, you can get your comments in. I'm trying to do more live streams and get more content and do different things for the channel. But I go back to work, not tomorrow. I might go back tomorrow. The next day after that. So it might just be more videos and not as many live streams as I've been doing, but I'm definitely going to keep bringing more videos. And I like doing off-season content too. So we're going to talk about all the different options. I got to look into who all the free agent quarterbacks are going to be. Like, it takes a little bit of research too to do this shit. Like, I don't know. I got other shit going on in my life. I'm a diehard Steelers fan. I can't keep up with all these different teams. I do want to bring like NBA content to my channel too, because I'm a big NBA fan, but it's like I'm building this shit. Basically, there's just all Steelers fans in here, and you guys bring good comments, and you help the live streams go along with your comments 100%. Like, because y'all are Steelers fans, and y'all are diehard, and you've seen it from you watch all the games, and you know what the deal is. And yeah, we have different opinions a little bit here and there, but I think that's what makes the content. And a lot of these are questions, like reasonable questions that you got to really ask. Like dude was saying, like, you can get running backs in the later rounds on the cheap. So why don't we go for if Naj is on an option and we can clear that $7 million up and get another big body back in the 5th round or some shit, big 240-pound boy, come in there and back up Warren on them 3rd and 1s, them 4th and 1s, and just use him for that. Maybe even throw him in there as a little crackback every once in a while. Shit. That's what I was saying. They should use Naj as a crackback. Fuck. He's big enough. Get him in there lead block him with Warren. bringing the fucking wing T shit, bro. I'm telling you, there's an options, and like, and even with the quarterback, Fenix, who's the offense coordinator, dude, there's gonna be so many storylines. And what am I going to get in the X's and O's of the games? The Ravens, they're amazing at running the ball like they are every year. The Ravens play amazing defense like they do every fucking year. This is going to be a smash mouth game. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be physical. There's probably going to be 2 or 3 people getting carted off the field like there is every year because it's the Baltimore Ravens and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers and it's the best rivalry in the NFL and it's the best division in the NFL. And smash mouth football ain't dead, and I've been preaching it all year. And I've been preaching all year when all 3 phases of this team start to come together, we're going to start dominating fools. In the past 2 games, we've been dominating fools. Now it's time to make it 3 in a row and start dominating fools. Get a little bit of help from the Miami Dolphins so they can wrap up their division and get Buffalo so we can sneak into the playoffs. And then we can go in and dominate some fools and make it 4 in a row and get our first playoff win. And then shut down the narrative and the Tomlin hate, and then Madden will have to eat his words. But his fat, narcissistic ass will never eat his fucking words, and he'll just keep going on about how right he is, when all he never is nothing but wrong, and all he does is slander to get people to click on his trash-ass articles and his trash-ass shit that he puts out over and over and over again on repeat, like Nazi fucking Germany, all right? And that Trip Media is not too far off from that. So that's my whole take on all this shit going on. Mason's staying in the pocket, and that gives the O-line confidence in their execution, which benefits both wide receivers and running backs. I would say 100%. He's had happy feet in the pocket, and a lot of the sacks and the pressures that he was taking could be attributed to him holding on to the ball too long and trying to extend and do JV college-ass shit that you can't do in the NFL. And sometimes you just got to take the sack and know when just to take the sack and the play is dead or throw it away. And sometimes Kenny's trying to do too much, and he's missing wide open receivers. And now we got a quarterback that can extend the field, and we got to get this must-win game and make it 3 in a row against Baltimore. And we get. I'm gonna go over all the stats and shit. The players, who knows who they're gonna be starting, who knows who they're not gonna be starting. I don't know if they released anything on that. I can barely keep up with all the Steelers drama, let alone the drama in Baltimore and what the fuck they're doing. So who knows? But I would say 100% these dudes are going to probably not risk Lamar getting injured in a fucking game like this against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are going to be looking to take your head off in a game that means nothing for Baltimore. And Lamar, who's been injury prone his whole entire career and was injured in the playoffs last year, and you're paying him big money, there's no reason whatsoever to go out there and put him at your MVP, probably the league MVP, out there to play in a meaningless game when you have a first round bye sealed up and you have a whole next second season to worry about. So Baltimore's probably favored. I'd say, I haven't looked at the line, but I'm going to say Baltimore's a 3-point favorite, and the Steelers are going to make it 3 games in a row and get that win over that 3-point favorite. And these are a lot of the games that Mark Madden doesn't want to talk about, where we are an underdog and everybody counts us down and out, and the season's on the line, and Mike Tomlin finds a will and a way, and this team finds a will and a way. And let's find a will and a motherfucking way to get in the playoffs and have a chance at the motherfucking dance, baby. So, hey, if he wants to talk shit, listen. Ask Mac Main, man. I come from the TTC. We're professional trash talkers, man. So if he wants to talk shit, he's going to get it back. And he does get it back from me. And I get under his skin. Like I said multiple times in his live, that's why he's responded to me, and we've had it multiple back and forth. He's the highest rated dude in Pittsburgh. So, I don't know. My trolling abilities and my shit talking abilities, if I really want to put them to work, I don't know. I guess an impression on some people. So here we go, Steelers. I'm going to wrap this one up. Maybe we'll do a live tomorrow. I don't know. At least pump out a couple video or 2 and talk about the shit that's going on. Maybe even do some videos about the Ravens and who they're starting and who they're not starting. I mean, we'll check out the injury reports, keep up with the drama. I'll do one about Madden tomorrow. I'll see what he's been tweeting, and I'll do a little shit about his tweets and what the people are reacting and what the people are saying or something. So shout out to all y'all in the chat. I gotta start putting the comments up on the screen more. I haven't put the, I don't never do that, but I should do that every time I answer a comment. So peace out, everybody.